Hey everyone, in today's episode, we're diving into a truly heartwarming story about a young woman who's received incredible help from G and Adam. But here's the question: can those acts of kindness truly be returned with sincerity from her heart? And will this small spark of joy be the key to unlocking a path of happiness for Joro? This story is sure to touch the hearts of all of us. If you're someone who loves moments that are raw, emotional, and deeply meaningful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Together, we'll explore even more beautiful stories that will inspire and move us all. Now let's jump right into today's story and see where it takes us. The soft morning sunlight filtered gently through the bamboo house, casting a warm golden hue over everything it touched. Adam sat quietly by the stove, his eyes lost in thought. His mind was a whirlwind of questions. What has this girl been through? He wondered. Rising from his seat, he gazed at the girl lying on the bamboo bed, the concern in his eyes impossible to miss. He was full of questions, but before he could ask, she woke up, her confused eyes scanning her surroundings. Adam didn't speak right away. He walked over quietly, his voice soft with concern. "How are you feeling?" The girl's eyes showed signs of panic, but as she felt the warmth and kindness from Joe and Adam, she slowly began to calm. She could sense the genuine care around her, and it gave her the courage to speak. "I'm Tieu Vi," she whispered. "Thank you for helping me." Adam looked at her, his curiosity growing. "Where are you from? Why are you so scared of us?" Tieu Vi lowered her gaze, sadness filling her eyes, and a trace of fear lingered. "I'm afraid of you. Afraid you might be like my ex-husband," she replied quietly, her voice heavy with the weight of her past. "He hurt me. He kicked me out." Adam felt a surge of anger rise within him at her words. "Why would he do that?" he asked, unable to hold back his outrage. Tieu Vi kept her eyes down, her hands clenching into fists. "I lived with my elderly mother, but because I couldn't have children, my husband lost interest in me. He wanted to sell me like I was some worthless object." Her words hit Adam like a sharp arrow to the heart. He looked at her, his heart filled with sympathy and an overwhelming desire to protect her from further pain. There was so much more to her story, so many untold layers. But in this moment, all Adam could feel was an intense need to shield her from the ghosts of her past. As Tieu Vi shared her story, G and Adam began to piece together the reasons behind her fear and why she had run away when G called. It wasn't just the physical scars, it was the haunting memories of her past that lingered like shadows around her. Adam studied her quietly, his eyes searching for something deeper within her, something he couldn't quite put into words. Finally, with a soft yet firm voice, he spoke. "Take your time to rest here. When you're ready, we can go meet Huyen." Tieu Vi stayed silent for a moment, then lifted her gaze to look at G. Her eyes filled with doubt and suspicion. "Are you really Huyen's boyfriend?" Her voice was laced with uncertainty. "Huyen is a good person. I don't want anyone to hurt her." Unable to contain his emotions, Jay interrupted his voice tinged with urgency. "I've been trying to find Huyen. If you don't believe me, then my love for her and Maya means nothing." His words were like a quiet scream in his heart, a desperation to make her understand the sincerity of his intentions. Yet he didn't want her to misinterpret him. Meanwhile, Adam sat quietly by the stove, his gaze lost in the flickering flames. His thoughts were a whirlwind full of confusion and curiosity. Could it be, he wondered? Am I beginning to feel something for Tieu Vi? The thought crossed his mind briefly, but it left him with an unfamiliar feeling. A subtle joy stirred within him, as if something deep inside had awakened. Adam smiled, but it was a smile meant only for Tieu Vi, a quiet knowing smile that only she could truly understand. With a tender, caring touch, Adam sat down near her, trying not to make her feel uncomfortable. "So where are you staying now?" he asked, his tone gentle yet probing, like a door slowly opening to reveal a hidden truth. Tieu Vi's eyes flickered with a hint of sadness, and she bit her lip as if trying to hide the pain that lurked beneath her calm exterior. She shook her head and replied softly, "I don't have a place to stay. I live in a cave now." Her words struck like a thunderclap, leaving Jay and Adam in stunned silence. They exchanged a look, their eyes filled with a mixture of shock and deep sympathy. Tieu Vi's life was far harder than they had ever imagined, a struggle that seemed almost beyond belief. She wasn't just another homeless person. She carried with her a heartbreaking tragedy. Tieu Vi didn't just live in poverty. She lived surrounded by the ghosts of her past, facing emotional scars no one could truly understand. Her life had been lonely, hopeless even. Yet in this moment before her stood two men who were ready to listen, to truly hear her story. Jay and Adam felt a tightness in their chest, a sorrow that weighed heavily on them. But at the same time, they couldn't help but feel the strength in Tieu Vi. Her story wasn't just one of survival. It was one of hope, resilience, and the will to keep going despite the odds. The hardships she had endured only fueled Jay and Adam's desire to help her more. And in this journey, could Tieu Vi reclaim her belief in life? Or would the ghosts of her past forever hold her captive? As the evening sunlight began to fade, it was replaced by a warm golden hue that stretched across the land and filtered through the small windows of the house. Inside, the air seemed to stand still heavy, with a sense of warmth, care, and love, all carefully wrapped around the fragile girl lying on the bed. Every glance, every movement from Adam and Jo spoke volumes of their gentleness, as if they were trying to offer Tieu Vi a sliver of peace after the storm she had endured. Yet despite this tender care, Jay couldn't shake the deep sadness that weighed on him. He sat quietly by the stove, his eyes distant as they followed the slow drift of clouds outside the window. His mind was consumed by thoughts of Maya and Huyen, thoughts he couldn't escape. Maya must be so grown up by now. I wonder if she'll recognize me. The uncertainty gnawed at him, the excitement of being reunited with his loved ones now feeling like a distant, fading dream. His feelings for Huyen burned quietly in his chest, but they remained locked away, hidden from view. He couldn't see her, yet couldn't express the depth of what he felt for her. With a heavy sigh, he gazed out the window again, the soft patter of raindrops echoing in the silence. The sound of the rain seemed to echo his heart, each drop intensifying the heaviness he carried within. As for Tieu Vi, she was slowly recovering, but her eyes still held 1,000 unanswered questions. Could she ever find peace again? Could she ever trust people like G and Adam? These questions hung in the air, lingering without clear answers. And in that quiet house, amidst the falling rain, no one knew for sure whether Tieu Vi could heal from the scars of her past or if she would ever truly feel safe again. In the midst of a light afternoon rain, Tieu Huyen and Maya had just finished a long, exhausting day working in the fields. Their tired footsteps echoed on the dusty red path, their bodies drenched in sweat and dirt. As they made their way home, a sense of relief began to settle over Tieu Huyen. The weight of the day lifted, and she thought about how much they had done to make their lives better. As they walked, they passed a small market stall selling beautifully woven baskets. The craftsmanship was exquisite, each one meticulously hand-woven, capturing the essence of rural life. Tieu Huyen couldn't help but smile as she admired them, reminded of the little things she still needed for her home. She stopped to buy a few simple yet elegant baskets and a few other small household items that she hoped would make their living space feel warmer, cozier. These baskets weren't just practical. They felt like a connection to something deeper, something pure and natural. Tieu Huyen had once dreamed of a small, cozy home filled with simple, beautiful things, the laughter of her children filling the air, and a peaceful, loving atmosphere. But now, those dreams seemed far out of reach, fading like distant memories, leaving only her and Maya to face the struggles of everyday life. With each step, they took the rain falling softly around them. The path ahead seemed heavier, like the weight of the world was pressing down on their shoulders. Though their clothes were soaked and their hearts weary, there was still a flicker of hope in Tieu Huyen's heart. She believed that one day all their hard work would pay off. No matter how difficult the road ahead might be, the love between mother and daughter was strong enough to carry them through anything. Maya's eyes lit up as she saw the baskets, her bright smile spreading across her face. "They're beautiful, right, Mom?" she asked, her voice light and sweet, like a gentle breeze. Tieu Huyen couldn't help but smile back, her heart swelling with affection as she wrapped Maya in a warm hug. "Yes, sweetie, I love them too." Together, they walked down the narrow path leading home, the rhythmic sound of their footsteps echoing in the quiet of the evening. The tall trees lining the path seemed like old friends offering shelter and warmth as they approached their humble home. From a distance, Tieu Huyen spotted the familiar figures of the local farmers standing by her house, their voices filling the air with laughter and conversation. The house felt alive, full of warmth and life, a sense of belonging and community. Maya ran ahead to greet Bibi, the family dog, her laughter ringing out across the yard as the dog chased her in circles. Bibi's soft fur glistened as he bounded around, adding to the joy of the moment. These simple, precious moments, like the sound of Maya's laughter and the playful energy of their dog, were exactly what Tieu Huyen had longed for. They were the heart of her world, the motivation to keep pushing forward despite the hardships. But little did she know, the joy of today was only the beginning of something much greater. A surprise was waiting for Tieu Huyen and Maya, one that Jay, the man who had quietly cared for and loved Huyen, was preparing to bring into their lives. His presence wasn't just a source of joy. It was the spark of hope for a brighter future. In that quiet moment, Tieu Huyen couldn't have known that the hard days she had endured were coming to an end. A big surprise from Ya would soon lead her and Maya into a new chapter of their lives, a chapter where happiness and love would fill their days. The path home that day, with its laughter and joy, was the prelude to something beautiful about to unfold. Tieu Huyen had no idea how much her life was about to change, how that small, flickering spark of hope would grow into a light powerful enough to